I've been investing for a decade. I've gone from a total beginner to an investing teacher. And through all those years, I've stuck with Questrade. Here's why. Hey guys, it's Adrian here, the Canadian in a t-shirt. And today, I'll share my investing journey, how I discovered Questrade, and why I'm still using them as my main platform in 2025. For this video, I want to focus on the personal side. I hope you can relate to hearing my story, my evolution, and how my life changed once I took charge of my financial future. Questrade played a big role in that, no exaggeration. And so I'm proud to announce that this video is sponsored by Questrade. I've been their biggest fan for years, and I'll always sing their praises. They're the first sponsorship I ever did. They support my channel while letting me say what I want to say, so I'm very grateful for that. If you saw my last video a few weeks ago, you know that Questrade made a huge change. They got rid of all commission fees. Buying and selling stocks and ETFs, it's free. Now investing is accessible to all Canadians, no matter how much money you have. But it wasn't always this way. When I started investing 10 years ago as a broke kid in college, we didn't have these tools and resources. Investing was a scary world for the average Joe. And if you did give it a try, the fees were expensive. A lesson I learned the hard way. Like most beginners, I thought investing was reserved for the experts on Wall Street. A kid like me should just trust the banks and let them invest for me with mutual funds. After about a year, I saw the ridiculous fees they were charging me and I had to get out. I ran the numbers and those fees weren't just 3%. No, they would eat up 30 to 40% of my net worth by the time I retire. I know it's hard to believe, but I break down all these numbers in this video, why I avoid mutual funds. But I still trusted the bank, so I moved my money into my bank's online brokerage. That way I could pick and choose what to invest in without paying those huge annual fees. I still remember my first investment. I bought 5 blue chip stocks and 2 ETFs. I loved having control over my portfolio and I really liked the platform, but they were expensive. I had to pay $10 in commission fees every single time I traded a stock or an ETF, and there was no way around it. As a beginner, I was super excited to start this journey and build my portfolio, one trade at a time, but those fees took out a huge chunk. I didn't have a lot of money. I was a broke college kid with barely any income. I wanted to invest consistently every week, but I couldn't. Not with those $10 fees every time. So instead, I would save up for months so that I could invest a lump sum of $1,000. That was my rule. I would only invest $1,000 at once. That way, I would only lose 1% of my money with that $10 fee. I was okay with 1%, but it was hard to grow. I could only invest a few times per year, and I would spend weeks or months sitting on cash collecting dust until I reached that $1,000 threshold. And that's when I discovered Questrade. And I'm not kidding, it changed my life. With Questrade, they had all the features of the big bank, but at half the cost. I would only pay $5 in commission fees when buying stocks. And even better, I would pay 0 commission fees when buying ETFs. This allowed me to start investing small amounts of money, $20 at a time. I didn't have to save up for months and months just to make one trade. If I had 20 bucks a day, I could buy an ETF, and tomorrow I could buy another one. This just wasn't possible with the bank. Guys, I cannot stress how much this changed not only my portfolio, but it reshaped my whole mentality around money. Investing used to be a big decision I would make once a semester. For months, I would wait and save and plan and finally buy one single stock. Investing was an event. Now with Questrade, it became a habit. Investing became part of my routine I did every week. Whatever money I could save, I would invest right away. This is what changed my life. This was a decade ago. Questrade was the cheapest and simplest option as a beginner. But I kept learning and I grew into a pretty advanced investor, I'd say. And guess what? I'm still using Questrade as my main platform, even with all the other options we have today. Here's why. First off, the fees, or lack of fees. There's no monthly fee, no annual fee. To me, this is huge. I don't want to pay for something in the background when I'm not using it. And now with their new changes, I don't get charged even when I do use it. From now on, there are no more trading fees, buying or selling, stocks or ETFs. It's all commission free. And for the vast majority of trades, you don't pay ECN fees either. I already went into detail on this no fee announcement here. Give it a watch. But hey, if my 20-year-old broke college self was alive today, I would lose my mind. Because with Questrade, I can buy stocks and ETFs every single week without saving up and worrying about the fee. Whether I had 10 bucks or 10,000, it's perfect for all investors, the veterans like me and the beginners just starting out. And that's another thing, there's no minimum balance to open an account with Questrade. You don't need a lot of money. You can open an account with just 5 bucks and start investing. When I started a decade ago, that just wasn't the case. Plus, fractional shares are coming. It's easier than ever to get started. So, no minimum balance required. Although, if you want to get a $50 sign-up bonus using my link below, then you'll need to deposit $250. More on that later. Questrade has been around for 25 years, and so they're able to offer a ton of features you don't get with the newer platforms. Just look at the account types. Questrade offers pretty much every type of account. This is a huge advantage and a deciding factor for many investors. The standard ones like the TFSA, RRSP, non-registered, everyone has that. But what if you want to open an RESP to save for your child's education? Or a spousal RRSP to save on taxes in the family? Or a corporate account to invest and keep that money inside your business? A lot of popular brokerages don't support these, but Questrade does. 2 years ago, we had the new FHSA, First Home Savings Account, and Questrade was the only institution in Canada ready on day one. No banks and no other brokerages supported it. It took them months to catch up. Speaking of other platforms missing features, let's talk about Norbert's Gambit and US investing. Questrade is 100% free for Canadian investing, and for US investing, it's one of the cheapest options out there. I already have a whole video breaking down why. I'm not kidding. By using Questrade, I've saved over $4,000 in currency conversion fees. But real quick, with Questrade, you can hold both Canadian and US dollars, and there's no monthly fee to do this. If you sell a US stock, that money stays in US dollars. It won't automatically convert into Canadian and charge you a fee. That's the kind of control I want. I only convert currency when I choose to. In fact, I can avoid currency conversion fees by using Norbert's Gambit. This is Questrade's superpower, and the biggest reason why I stuck with them for a decade. I use Norbert's Gambit every month to convert my Canadian dollars into US dollars, and I only pay a flat fee of $10, starting on April 1st. This is where I've saved thousands of dollars. Rather than paying a percent-based fee like other brokers, where the more money you have, the more you pay, with a flat fee, I only pay 10 bucks, whether I'm converting 1,000 or 100,000. A lot of brokers don't support Norbert's Gambit, and this is why I love Questrade, especially for US investments. Watch this video for a step-by-step walkthrough on how to do Norbert's Gambit. I promise it's very simple, and it will save you a ton of money. It's hard to believe I made that video 5 years ago, so stay tuned for an updated version coming soon. Now, I want to show you the platform itself and all the features and research tools that I love. Here we have the account overview of my TFSA account. It's nice and neat. It shows me everything that I need and nothing that I don't. I can see my total portfolio is worth $106,000, my available cash, $1.31, and we have some performance metrics for the entire account. You can see here it was a bad day in the markets, so my portfolio went down by 0.85% in the past day. But in the long term, I'm still very profitable. Here we have the profit and loss of about $16,000. That means if I were to sell all of my stocks today, I would have made about $16,000 worth of capital gains. I want to point something out. Let's go to my RRSP account. You'll notice there are two separate columns, Canadian dollars and US dollars. In Canadian dollars, I have $27,000 invested, and in US dollars, I have about 93,000 USD. So combining them and converting everything into Canadian dollars, my RRSP portfolio is worth about $161,000. This is what I love about Questrade. I can hold both Canadian dollars and US dollars separately. Both currencies in terms of cash, but also my stocks and ETFs. So this is the summary of my account as a whole, but we can also look at the individual positions, the stocks and ETFs that I own. I love this page because everything you see here is fully customizable. I can show as much information as I want, or I can cut it down to the bare basics. A lot of brokers don't let you do that. They focus too much on being simple, to the point where it's too simple, and frankly, it's just missing information that I care about. I don't want to see just 3 numbers on the screen and sorted alphabetically. That might work if I only had a handful of stocks, but if you have a large portfolio like I do, I need this sorting and filtering and customization. Of course, I need the current share price, but that's not enough. I also want the average price, my adjusted cost basis. Very important. I want to see how many shares do I own, what's the current market value, what's the book value. This is a big one. Market value is how much this is worth today. Book value is how much money I've put in. Both these numbers are very important. The difference is the profit and loss, both as a dollar amount and as a percentage. These are the numbers that I care about, and I can sort by all of them. I can sort by book value. I can sort by market value. I can see which stocks are the most profitable, both in terms of a dollar amount and as a percentage. And it's all customizable. This layout fits my needs, but you can add or remove or reorder whatever columns you want. It's your choice. So here we can track the performance for each individual holding, but let's look at broader performance metrics for the entire portfolio. Here in the account summary, I can look at each individual account and see how they've grown over the years. My TFSA, my RRSP, my Quest Wealth account. What I really care about is my total return. That combines everything: dividends, capital gains, all my profits. So look, my TFSA portfolio is worth $106,000, but I've only put in $63,000 of my own money. The rest is pure profit, $43,000. That's money I didn't have to work for. My investments did the work. That's a combination of capital gains right here, plus dividends and reinvested profits. That gives me an all-time return of 68%. I love seeing these numbers. This really motivates me to keep going, just like when I see my dividends come in, here in my transaction history. Here you'll see a list of all my dividends, trades, deposits, reinvested dividends, drips. Here is where you'll see that $50 cash bonus if you use my referral link below. You can also export all of these numbers to Excel so you can do your own analytics. I love this feature. Here you can see all of my reinvested dividends, my drips. And this is what I love about Questrade. I get full customization. It's not just an on-off switch. You may want to enable drips for your TFSA account, but not others. Or just for certain stocks, but not all of them. With other brokers, it's all or nothing. With Questrade, I get full customization. Check out my drips explained video where I show you exactly how to set it up and customize it. Questrade is also working on more drip functionality coming soon. And in the next few weeks, we're going to get fractional shares. Very exciting. Now let's take a look at the cool research tools. Let's look up a stock like Royal Bank. All these standard metrics you'll see on a stock quote, I've already covered in this video here. Things like bid price, ask price, earnings per share, price to earnings ratio, dividend amount, dividend yield, etc. Scrolling down, let's take a look at the research tools, and all of them are free. Starting with analyst ratings, this is a summary of what each analyst says about the stock. 8 of them are saying to buy, 3 of them are saying to hold. So the overall consensus is a green moderate buy. Here we see their price target. Note, this is just a projection. No one can predict the future. And you can look up each analyst to see their track record. Don't just copy what an analyst says, but you can use this as a piece of information in your own research. Now in news analysis, we can see the sentiment score, and we can look up different news articles and filter by positive news and negative news. And this is really cool, the SMART score. This is a quick snapshot of the stock assessment. It combines all these factors to give you a score out of 10. Analyst rating, we've already covered that. Blogger opinions, this is a sentiment analysis of the online world. Hedge fund activities, what institutional investors are doing. Insider activity, if major shareholders are buying or selling shares. We have tip ranks investors, what they're saying, recent news sentiment, and then we have technical analysis and fundamental analysis. I'll say it again, don't base your entire decision on these numbers, but it is useful to see and it's free. And here in news, we can see a list of all the recent news articles. You can click on each publication and then click the link to see the article itself. Very convenient. So that's why I've stuck with Questrade for a decade. And now, some free money for you guys. Use my referral link below to sign up, and you'll get a $50 cash bonus when you deposit at least $250. That's a guaranteed 20% return. That's free money, so take it and invest it. Keep in mind that this $50 will count as a contribution. So if you're opening a TFSA or RSP, make sure you have available room. Use my link, you'll see my custom landing page, and that bonus should apply automatically. Or you can manually enter my code, Canadian T-shirt, to make sure you get that bonus. Thanks for watching and listening to my story, and I'll see you guys on the next episode of The Canadian in a T-shirt. Bye guys.